So as we saw in the last video, LLMOps is a subset of MLOps, which stands for Machine Learning Operations. So they share some similarities, but LLMOps does something more. For similarities, both of them manage the life cycle of machine learning models. Secondly, both of them have principles coming in from the DevOps paradigm to support collaboration among the cross-functional teams, which could be the development team, data science and machine learning team, operations team, and also the production support team. Thirdly, both of them focus on automation, the end-to-end automation, which covers training of models, testing, deployment, and monitoring. But there are certain things that LLMOps does more. For example, typically all LLM applications are power hungry. So they need a lot of memory and lot of processing power as well in form of GPUs. So LLMOps has mechanism to scale resources as needed and manage them efficiently. Secondly, LLMOps also deals with a variety of data. So typically machine learning models are trained on a specific set of data and then they help you bring out predictions or prescriptions based on those data. But LLMOps, the amount of data that it is working on is very vast and it's also complex as well. And of late, the recent LLM models work with multimodal data, that is, it's not only text, but it also includes images, videos, and so on. Finally, LLMOps models work on real-time inference and generation, which means whenever you are interacting with the LLM model, you expect the outcomes or the results as soon as possible, which may or may not be always the case with traditional machine learning models. Here are some of the building blocks of LLMOps. At the bottom of it, the foundation is security and compliance. So this has all the necessary tools and mechanisms to ensure that all the data that you deal with is secure. And then any compliance regulations like HIPAA or PCI DSS, everything is taken care of when you're handling with sensitive data. So on top of this foundational layer are 4 building blocks. So first is data management, which is taking care of managing all the training data, all the data that is coming in from outside your organization. Everything is managed in the data management layer. Data ops is one practice which helps you manage the life cycle of data elements. The second block is model training. So this block is about training your machine learning model. So for example, in the case of LLMOps, the foundation model is already trained with a huge corpus of data. Here you might be training with your own organizational data using RAG methodology. That comes under the model training block. The third one is a model deployment, where once the model is trained, it is deployed first in your test environment where all the testing happens, and then once it is certified for production, the LLMOps also include deploying these models into production. Once these models are deployed, the last step or a continuous feedback loop is monitoring and evaluation. This ensures that the model that is deployed in production performs well, continuously evaluated, and any deviation is fed back into the system for further training and management. So typically, this is how LLMOps works. So I took this from a Databricks website. You can visit it using the link given below. So you start with a foundation model. So this is a very important step because the foundation model is where most of the knowledge that you need and most of the capabilities that you need come in. So once you select a foundation model, you start with prompt engineering. This is basically working with the foundation model. You give it prompts, a set of prompts or few short training, and then evaluate the results. In some cases, it might already be possible that the foundation model is good enough with some prompt engineering. So in that particular situation, if you don't see a room for improvement, you deploy it into production using one of the deployment methodologies like A/B testing, canary deployment or blue-green, and then you continuously evaluate the result if they are good enough over a period of time. But if you do see a room for improvement, so then you go to the next step where you have specialized team which is looking at the data and labeling the data and then you might have a need to fine-tune the model which you chose in the first place. So fine-tuning can also sometimes be done at a parameter level, or it can also be done using the RAG methodology where you're training the model using your knowledge base. And then the cycle repeats. So once you fine-tune the model, you evaluate the results again until there is no room for improvement, then you go deploy into production. This is in a nutshell what a high-level view of how LLMOps work. In the next video, we'll talk about the different LLMOps capabilities and best practices. See you in the next video. Bye.